In the shadows of post-Soviet Russia, a new power emerged. From chaos and collapse, the Russian Mafia found its roots. Ex-soldiers, corrupt officials, and street gangs converged. Money, influence, and violence became their trinity. They controlled black markets for vodka, cigarettes, and stolen goods. Cocaine, heroin, and arms trade followed soon after. Corruption ensured law enforcement turned blind eyes. Neighborhoods were ruled by bosses like modern princes. They operated with secrecy, ritual, and unspoken codes. The thieves-in-law held ceremonial authority over clans. Violence was swift, decisive, and often invisible. Extortion, rackets, and protection thrived under fear. They moved billions, laundering through banks and businesses. Political figures were bought, ensuring immunity. They infiltrated industry, energy, and transportation. Ordinary citizens both feared and respected them. Even prisons were their territories, ruled with code. Their symbols, rings, tattoos, and gestures spoke volumes. Money flowed like rivers, corruption like veins of the city. By the mid-1990s, clans had networks across continents. They influenced media, entertainment, and nightlife. Assassinations and intimidation silenced opposition. Rival clans erupted into wars, bloodless but deadly. International law struggled to keep pace with their reach. Members were trained in combat, strategy, and manipulation. They perfected the art of invisibility in plain sight. Brutality was tempered with honor within their circles. Women played key roles in intelligence and laundering. Children were indoctrinated, learning loyalty early. Their empire thrived on fear, strategy, and opportunity. Western agencies underestimated their structure and cunning. The Mafia infiltrated banking, oil, and shipping industries. They bribed judges, prosecutors, and law enforcement alike. Rival gangs either joined them or vanished. By the 2000s, the Russian Mafia had global reach. They controlled casinos, nightclubs, and underground markets. Cybercrime joined the traditional rackets. The Mafia became a shadow state within Russia. Fear kept citizens compliant. Loyalty kept them alive. Rivalries persisted, but alliances formed when profitable. The Mafia's legend grew faster than the state's power. Prisons became networking hubs for future leaders. Their symbols inspired loyalty and intimidation alike. They penetrated politics and law enforcement deeply. The Mafia thrived on secrecy, betrayal, and opportunity. Expanding into Europe and Asia, their influence spread. They used fear and spectacle as powerful tools. Legends formed about untouchable leaders. Their codes were strict, punishments severe but unseen. Rival clans either obeyed or disappeared without trace. They influenced media, ensuring image and myths persisted. Western law enforcement struggled to adapt to their methods. Money laundering became an art form. Assassinations were precise, targeted, and calculated. Weapons flowed freely. Borders meant little. The Mafia became a legend of power and fear. Even presidents knew their reach and influence. Luxury mingled with brutality in their world. Alliances shifted, betrayals struck without warning. Their myth inspired fear, loyalty, and imitation. Cities bent to their rules silently. Power flowed in chains from bosses to enforcers. Even global crime networks acknowledged their authority. They thrived in a post-Soviet vacuum. Prisons, courts, and businesses bent to subtle threats. Brutality was never gratuitous, only functional. Wealth, secrecy, and strategy made them untouchable. Their story blends fact, fear, and legend. Even after arrests, influence persisted. Clans adapted, restructured, survived government crackdowns. Power passed quietly, leaving shadowed legacies. And in Russia's heart, their empire still whispers.